All right, ladies and gentlemen, if there's more than one of you out there. This is the report I wanted to share. Unfortunately, as you can see, while it's really cool and you can glean a lot from it, it's really unreadable. Oh my goodness. Like, anyway, there's a flying object seen in the Shakti area, August 1953. Great little report. This is document number Charlie 00015264, by the way, that we are trying to look at. More mostly unreadable stuff. Yeehaw. So on a warm starry night, yada yada yada, 3 flying objects were observed moving, yada yada, 10 kilometers southeast, blah blah blah. Unreadable. Hey, honestly, it looks like it was high-flying jets using there was a little, I think there was a neat little mention of Sram Jets, which I didn't realize were around for aircraft in 1953. That's kind of impressive. Sram Jets are pretty cool. Sram Jets, they operate ideally at hypersonic speeds. By the way, this is not readable, so it is what it is. So I got another one. But yeah, Sram Jets, they really like to start up around Mach 1 or 2 and are capable of all the way up to Mach 6. They don't have a propeller in there at all for their jet. They're actually using a minimum airspeed to cram air together and smash it together, and that builds the compression it needs for when the fuel hits it. Now everything's squeezed so tight. Hey, we've got a viewer. Hey, hi in the chat, Heather Ellis. Woo! Supportive wife, love it. So yeah, Sram Jets squeeze, which your piston's doing a regular internal combustion engine, and then the heat from the friction, kind of like a diesel engine. These things, all the air's ramming together. The fuel drops down in there. It hits that hot air that's colliding with itself, and bang, you're going Mach 6. Mach 6. Ah, that would be so much fun. Anywho, yeah, 1953, Mach 6 capable engines. They were actually using them in the early 60s. Even the Canadian Air Force was using them on a lot of missiles, that kind of thing. It's cool stuff, but not usually used for manned aircraft. So where are we going to go now? This is a fun little story. I liked this one because I think it just really reveals the strategy in the delivery of all this stuff and who sees what, and we don't want people knowing certain things like who's involved in this and why and yada yada, because that would look bad politically. And after all that Operation Mongoose and Northwood stuff that we read already, you can kind of see that there's a big focus on political pull and public support for the U.S. government. When people start looking at government poorly, they don't get to do as much fun or, not so scrupulous stuff. By the way, you may have noticed by now a slight format change. That's because nobody seemed to really care when I just read straight the document, unbiased, with no insights and no opinion. And I don't blame you. It's kind of boring. But at the same time, this isn't what I intended to do originally. But hey, we're going to try it out because, what's more important, saying things or being heard? Here we go. We're sticking with 1953. I like that year this time. This is a neat little letter from the Central Intelligence Agency. Can we see it? Yeah, there it is. Come on, focus. There we go. This is going to be document number, just for reference, Charlie 00015297. This is a letter to somebody who was working on some interesting stuff. So here, let's just get to it. Dr. Lloyd, we'll just put two, Dr. Lloyd V. Bartner, President, Associated Universities Incorporated. What is that? I need to look that one up. I got the address though, room 6920, just one room, 350 Fifth Avenue, New York, 1, New York. Dear Lloyd, or Lloyd if you prefer, because it's got 2 L's in it. You will recall in January 1953, we constituted a scientific advisory panel on unidentified flying objects with Doctors H.P. Robertson as chairman, Samuel Goodsrit, Luis W. Alvarez, Thornton Page, and yourself as members. After its deliberation, the panel reached 2 conclusions and made 2 recommendations, which were included as tab A of the report. Very recently, the U.S. Air Force has requested that the conclusions of this report be declassified so that they may be used in the press. A copy of the report is enclosed herewith for your information. I have discussed this matter with Dr. Robertson and Dr. Goodsmith, who agree that the conclusion contained in paragraph 2 and the recommendation contained in paragraph 4A can be declassified, but they, as well as this agency, will not agree to a declassification of the conclusion in paragraph 3 or the recommendation in paragraph 4B. It is our feeling that the association of the panel with this agency should not be disclosed, that paragraph 1 could be rewritten to eliminate this connection, and the final 6 lines of paragraph 4 can stand as written. I have queried the Air Force as to whether the names of the panel members would be used. They have replied that names would be used only within official circles and would not be given to the press, but as such information has a tendency at times to filter out, it should be recognized that if approval is given for use of the names, they will become common knowledge. Page 2. It would be very much appreciated if you could let me know as soon as possible what your reaction is to the Air Force declassification proposal, whether you agree with Dr. Robertson, Dr. Goldsmith, and myself on limiting any declassification, and whether you would approve or disapprove the use of your name, granted that agency connection with the panel is withheld. Very best regards, sincerely, Philip G. Strong, Deputy Assistant Director. It doesn't say of what, though. Interesting. I'm guessing the CIA. And enclosure, UFO report, secret. Now, here's a fun fact. I went digging, couldn't find the unadulterated version of that report, which is mentioned here at the bottom of the page. But I did find their edited version. Ha-ha! So here we go. It took a little while for them to compile it, apparently, or that letter took place a little bit later than we thought it did. But either way, the panel convened in 1953. Very important, with the names of the people that we saw before. Here we go. The report. Here's the cover letter that went with it. And this is document number for reference if you want to look it up for yourself at theblackvault.com. Charlie 00015300. This is stamped 20 December 1957. CIA Intelligence Agency, Washington, D.C. Blah, blah, blah. See, I'm actually reading. This isn't all from memory. Dr. Lloyd V. Bartner, President, Associated Universities Incorporated, Suite 1750, Coliseum Tower, 10 Columbia Circle, New York, 19, New York. It changed places. His office moved. Good for him, I guess. Hope it got a window view so he could see the UFOs that he's about to deny exist. Dear Lloyd, with reference to our prior conversation on unidentified flying objects, there is enclosed for your information a copy of a letter to the Air Force, together with the declassified version of the panel report. Very sincerely, Philip G. Strong, Deputy Assistant Director. 2 attachments are listed here. I don't know that we get them all. There's some hand scribbling as well, just so you can see that. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, look, cool stuff. Maybe you guys will see something in there that I missed. Page 2 of this particular one. Memorandum for the Assistant Chief of Staff, Intelligence Department of the Air Force. I'll tell you, too, in reading all these, before we jump into this, the CIA points to the Air Force a whole lot. I mean, I can't read a document without them saying, yeah, we talked to so-and-so, and they had a lot of questions about certain aspects of UFOs, and we really don't know much about that as we've been investigating it ourselves. So we just pointed them to the Air Force, but the Air Force hasn't really been helping us out very much. That's helpful. Yeah, I think I'm going to start digging into some Air Force declassified documentation. That might give us some connections here. All right, back to what we were doing. Attention, Major James F. I can't read the other one. I can't read where he's at. Not fair. You know, with all the tax money they take from us, you'd think they could get better scanners. Paragraph 1. We have just received the final letter from the member of the above panel concerning your request for declassification of the above report. Both CIA and all members of the panel here have agreed that the conclusions of paragraph 2 and the declassification can be declassified, and that recommendation 4A can be declassified. However, it is the decision of all concerned that no connection with CIA may be disclosed. Ooh. That the conclusion of paragraph 3 may not be declassified, and that the recommendation of 4B may not be declassified. Not, I'm emphasizing that because they underlined it. Ooh, they really meant it. On the basis of the above declassification, no member of the panel objects to the use of his name in connection with the declassified conclusion and recommendation. They're cool with it as long as they aren't tied to the CIA. How about that? Paragraph 2. In order to simplify your utilization of the declassified material, totally unreadable. Basically, it's saying I've provided a revised version of the report of the panel, which consists of a paraphrase of paragraph 1, the exact wording of paragraph 2, a new paragraph 3, which includes the declassified recommendation for A, and an appropriate paraphrasing of the balance of paragraph 4 less recommendation 4B. I trust that this, paragraph 3. I trust that this will serve the purposes of the request. Signed, Philip G. Strong, Deputy Assistant Director. Carbon copy, members of panel. So they all got a copy of that one. Cool. On to the report. Here we go. Report of the Scientific Panel of Unidentified Flying Objects, 17 January 1953. Paragraph 1. The undersigned panel of scientific consultants has met at the request of the government, not CIA, to evaluate any possible threat to national security posed by unidentified flying objects, in parentheses and quotations, flying saucers, and to make recommendation. The panel has received the evidence as presented by cognizant government agencies. They literally said top men. If you haven't seen Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, I'm sorry. It's an old family quote that we like to refer to all the time. But yeah, top men. We've got top men on it. Oh, wow. They're doing everything they can to not mention the CIA here. I'll start that sentence again. The panel has received the evidence as presented by cognizant government agencies, primarily the United States Air Force, and has received a selection of the best documented incidents. Paragraph 2. As a result of its considerations, the panel concludes that the evidence presented on unidentified flying objects shows no indication that these phenomena constitute a direct physical threat to, looks like, national security. Yeah. We finally believe that there is, oh wait, hang on. We firmly believe that there is no, oh my goodness, that's so not fair. There's no, okay, tell you what, I'm trying to read the first line of this paragraph right here. If you guys can figure it out, drop it in the comments. It'll be a whole lot easier to read. If I can see it on your thing. Yeah, if I can see it in the chat, it'll be a whole lot easier. Billy Bob's here. What up? Thanks for joining. We're wrapping up, actually. We're in the throes of page 1 of the report of the scientific panel on unidentified flying objects from 17 January 1953. So, yeah, we firmly believe that there is no something of cases which indicates phenomena which are attributable to foreign artifacts capable of hostile acts. That's interesting. What if they know there's aliens or whatever's flying those things, and they also know that they're not capable of harm? Anyway, rabbit trail. And that there is no evidence that the phenomena indicate a need for the revision of current scientific concepts. Paragraph 3. In the light of this conclusion, the panel recommends that the national security agencies take immediate steps to strip the unidentified flying objects of the special status they have been given and the aura of mystery they have unfortunately acquired. Oh my goodness. We suggest that this aim may be achieved by an integrated program designed to reassure the public of the total lack of evidence of, what is this? I'm going to say sinister because I can't tell what it is, but last line, if you guys can figure it out. There you go. We'll try it again. We suggest that this aim may be achieved by an integrated program designed to reassure the public of the total lack of evidence of malevolent forces behind the phenomena. How about that? And it's signed by the entire panel, which we mentioned before. We all agree that this BS version, trimmed down, missing paragraphs, and rewritten, and like, it's not even their report. There were 4 paragraphs, and they even said that they were going to rewrite paragraph 1. They were going to leave a few lines of paragraph 4. They were going to omit a recommendation 4B. That one's gone completely. They fabricated all of paragraph 3, which, I mean, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, there you go. There's a nice UFO story. We got the one at the beginning, and then what I like, the intentional cover-up of information, because it's good for the people. Anyway, thank you all for joining. I'm going to let you run. Yeah, we're coming up on 20 minutes. Good times. Check it out, theblackvault.com. I'm going to post a link in the description. Y'all have a good night.